Greetings. Today we'll deal with the numericals on minimum potential energy and equilibrium. For that we'll just go to the flashback of the basics which we have related to the principle of minimum potential energy. We know that the total energy possessed by any system is a component part of the strain energy of that system plus the potential energy of the external forces on that system. So here the system is given is a spring system where the springs are arranged in series and parallel at respective nodes. So here node 1 is being fixed here and the node 4 is a free end. Between node 1 and 2 there is a spring with a spring constant K1, and between node 2 there are two springs. Node 2 to 3 there are two springs having a spring constant K2 respectively, and between node 3 and 4 one more springs has been attached which is having a spring constant K3. At node 2 the load applied is 30 kilonewton which is going towards left hand side, will have a pushing action here, and at node 4 there is a load 50 kilonewton applied which will have a pull action or tensile forces. Now in case of analysis what we do, we are going to find out the component parts of the total energy possessed by the system under the forces as well as with reference to their own capabilities, means strain energy plus potential energy due to external forces. So we'll go with reference to the given data here. Given data is that K1 value is given to us, it is 40 Newton per mm. K2 value is also provided to us, it is 60 Newton per mm, and K3 is 30 Newton per mm. If we apply the strain energy concept to these elements, let us say it is UE. I am representing this one, the strain energy concept applied on the elements, means this system of the springs here. So let us say here diba 1 is the displacement at node 2, diba 2 is the displacement at the node 3, and diba 3 will be the displacement at the node 4. Now if we say the displacement here, the displacement the extension, instead of calling that as a displacement I will call diba as an extension, and if I consider the displacement component here at respective node, you can say displacement component may be represented as a u1, u2, u3 and u4. Okay, since the node 1 is having a fixed ends, that's why the displacement component at the node 1 will be 0. Okay, whereas if I want to know what is the extension at the node 2, it will be the difference between the two displacement parts. So here it will be u2 minus u1. For the case of diba 2, it will be u3 minus u2, and for the case of diba 4, it will be u4 minus u3. If I put this in the equation which we have for strain energy of a spring system, it is said to be 1/2 of the spring constant multiplied by diba whole square, means total extension whole square. So UE is equals to 1/2 of K1. Here K1 is the spring constant for the node 1 to 2, the spring attached between node 1 to 2, and if I say diba 1 here, it will be U2 minus U1 whole square plus 1/2 of, if I go with reference to this K2, they are arranged in parallel. So we say that when the springs are arranged in parallel, there is spring constant may get added. So we can say it is 2K2, 1/2 of 2K2 in bracket. The extension diba 2 will be equals to u3 minus u2 whole square plus, if I go with the reference to the 3/4 node, it will be 1/2 of K3 in bracket diba 3 is nothing but u4 minus u3 whole square. Now treat here it as a u3, by mistaken I have put here it as a u2, so it is u3 whole square. Now this is the total strain energy possessed by the system, the spring system which is given to us, that's why we call it as a U element. Now we'll go towards the reference of the potential energy possessed by the system under the action of external forces. So WP is the potential energy which is equals to minus F1 U1. So here F1 U1 minus F2 U2 minus F3 U3 minus F4 U4, means here the force component at node 1 multiplied by displacement component at node 1. Here likewise we will have the product with reference to force and the displacement, and we get the potential energy possessed by the external forces. Now if I put all this in equation, total energy, the total energy will be represented as the addition of UE plus WP. It will be 1/2 of K1 U2 minus U1 whole square plus 1/2 of twice K2 into U3 minus U2 whole square plus 1 half of K3 U4 minus U3 whole square minus of F1 U1 minus of F2 U2 minus of F3 U3 minus of F4 U4. Now, when I am going to apply the concept of minimum potential energy, then what I have to do? I have to take first derivative of this equation and minimize with reference to the unknown displacement component. That's why dou pi upon dou u1 equals to 0, it will yield. If I have to take the derivative of this system with a reference to u1, so here the derivative will be, the 2 will come downwards, 2 by 2 get cancelled. What remains here? K1 into u2 minus u1. So here K1 into u2 minus u1, and I have to take one again the derivative of the corresponding displacement component. It has a negative sign, that's why minus 1. Here in this particular element there is no displacement available, that's why this will act as a constant. Its value will be merged to 0. Here also the u1 is not present, that's why this value will merge to 0. But in case of f1 u1, the derivative will be minus f1, and here f2 u2 is constant, u3 is constant, u4 is constant. That's why we will have a net equation f1 equals to k1 u1 minus k1 u2. Okay, similarly on the same basis I will go with a differentiation of the total energy with reference to the unknown displacement component u2. When I take displacement the derivative, it will be k1 u2 minus u1 in bracket 1. Here I am going to say 1 half of this one, square will get constant, 2 get cancelled, k1 u2 minus u1, and I have to take the derivative of the bracket also, so this will be 1 plus twice 1 half, here 2 by 2 get cancelled, twice k2 in bracket u3 minus u2 minus of 1, because the u2 possesses a negative sign here, that's why minus 1 minus of f2, the displacement will become constant here, that's why resultant equation is equal to f2 is equals to minus k1 u1 plus in bracket k1 plus twice k2 into u2 minus twice k2 into u3. See, on the same basis, I will go with a differentiation with reference to unknown displacement third. So we will get a resultant 2k2 u3 minus u2 plus k3 u4 minus u3 minus of 1 minus of f3. Here u1 will become constant, and that's why it will not come in picture. That's why we have resultant force equation f3 is equals to minus 2 times of k2 u2 plus in bracket 2k2 plus k3 into u3 minus k3 u4. Similarly, if I go with a differentiation with reference to fourth unknown displacement component, it will be k3 u4 minus u3 minus of f4 equals to 0. So f4 is equals to minus k3 u3 plus k3 u4. If I put all this relation in matrix format, I will get a matrix which is appearing likewise k into minus k1 0 0 into u1 I will say it as a displacement tensor, and here I will say it is a force matrix. Okay, so I will put all this equation in a matrix format. I will get the matrix likewise. If I substitute the respective values with reference to the spring constants given to us, 40 minus 40 minus 40 160, 160 how it comes, 40 plus twice the value of k2, that is 60 is given to us, twice the 61 is 120, it results into 160 minus 120 0, and respectively I will complete this determinant u1 u2 u3 u4. These are the your displacement component in displacement tensor, and f1 f2 f3 f4, these are the nodal forces. But when we apply the boundary condition, we say that node 1 is being fixed one, that's why the displacement at the node 1 will be 0. Now we'll apply the first boundary condition here. Applying boundary condition at the fixed end, u1 equals to 0, that's why we can say u1 is 0. So this we can omit the first row and first column from this, because by applying, then what remains here, the 3 by 3 matrix for the u2 u3 u4, and the corresponding forces are known to us. So here 160 minus 120 0 minus 120 150 minus 30 0 minus 30 30 u2 u3 u4. And then here f2 value is minus 30, it is going towards the left hand side, and here add the second node, there is no forces applied, that's why 0, and u4 at the node 4 there is a applied load which is in pull action, that's why it will be plus 50 here. Now after solving this by either Gauss elimination method or we can say we can solve this with reference to the simultaneous equation method. We'll get the displacement values. As we know that u1 is 0, so we'll have one answer, affirmative answer, u1 is 0. The three answer merge after solving this matrix. It is u2 equals to 0.5 meter, u3 is equals to 0.9167 meter, and u4 is equals to 2.583 meter. It should be mm, because the stiffness is given to us is in kilo newton per mm. So you consider here the value as a mm. Okay, now I will substitute this values in respect to force equation which we have derived already here. Like we have f1 as k1 u1 minus k2 u2. If I put the value here, k1 value is 40. 40 multiplied by 0, the component the result is 0, minus 40 multiplied by, we have here the value as a 0.5. I think we have got here 0.5. So what we have will get here, the resultant is about half of the value which is assigned to us. The value is about 40, means it will result into 20. So here it should be 20. F2 is minus 30 kilonewton, F3 is equals to 155 kilonewton, and F4 is equals to 50 kilonewton. This work has been done, solution has been done, and directly result has been provided to you. I suppose that you people will work on individual equation, and by doing back substitution you are going to get the answer for this one. Now this in addition to this, I will assign you one numerical 2 as an homework to you right now. In upcoming video lectures we'll try to discuss the solution of this particular numerical. So here system of the springs are given which are arranged in parallel and series. Here in the first limb, the 1 2 3 node 1 2 3 springs of spring constant k1, spring constant k2 is been attached, whereas in the second limb there is only a single spring which is attached with the node number 5. Okay, and there is a in series. If we say that these are in parallel in series, the at node 3 to 4 there is one spring attached with a spring constant k3. So the values of k1, k2, k3, k4 is given. What we have to do, we have to find out the solution for the displacement component at respective nodes. If I consider the boundary condition, and for seeing the figure, I can say the displacement u1 and u5 at node 1 and 5 should be 0 because of the end condition, whereas we have to find displacement at node 2, displacement at node 3, displacement at node 4. So here u2, u3, u4 is being the unknown for us. Let us hope that you people are able to do the analysis and will have some homework on it, and will be eagerly waiting for the upcoming video lecture where I will put the solution. You have to verify that the things which I have said you, similarly the things you are performed in as an homework. Till then, be safe, be at home, and enjoy. Thank you.